Alright, like I promised, we're gonna do a longer video. Greece hosts largest shipment of US equipment in history. US carriers have been transferring helicopters and military vehicles that will participate in the upcoming NATO exercise Atlantic Resolve from its vessels to port. Pretty interesting. They're saying all this equipment is going over to the Middle East for exercises, but they're not telling you that they're going over there for the Russian threat. The more stuff we have over there, the more troops we have over there, it will make it easier for us to defend our allies. Which, if you think that NATO and the United States is not going to get involved this time, you're horribly mistaken. So Iran has been horrible at these nuclear talks. They're making crazy demands. And Israel weighs options, timing of possible military strike on Iran. Like I said, I think all of this is going to escalate around the same time. North Korea and South Korea, Russia and Ukraine, China and Taiwan, and Israel and Iran. I think Japan, Australia, Philippines, Guam, and Taiwan is all going to be after China and North Korea. And I think the EU, NATO, the US, and all of them are going to be after Russia and Iran. And Israel, of course. Don't forget about Venezuela and Cuba. Russia and Iran will try to use them to get closer to us. Russia bolsters supply lines, deploys medical units near Ukraine as invasion fears grow. You know they don't deploy all this stuff unless they really know that something's about to go down. And I think Russia has a feeling, I think NATO has a feeling, everyone has a feeling that something's about to go down. Antony Blinken, what's most important for Russia to understand is that actions have consequences. Yeah, we kind of know this. A U.S. commander says he wants to see a lot more aircraft carriers in the Pacific to check Russia and China. And they're not hiding their motives. They're telling you they're doing all this to directly confront Russia and China. And it's everywhere. It's in the Sea of Japan, it's in the Taiwan Strait, it's in the Persian Sea for Iran, it's in the Indo-Pacific, the Black Sea. Let's not forget the Mediterranean Sea, like everywhere, bro. Norway pulled stronger into the great power rivalry between the US and Russia, argues defense researcher. Which they're pretty much talking about the activity that the U.S. is doing close to the Russian borders. They're saying that they want to start making bigger moves to defend themselves. They don't want to rely on the United States, which is good to see countries stepping up to defend themselves. Now, this one's interesting. Ukraine uses Turkish drone in Donbass conflict zone. Putin tells Erdogan. White House won't rule out any options in defense of Ukraine. The House declined to rule out anything in response to Russian advances along Ukraine's border, including some form of military action. Fucking told you guys. Blinken says any move by China to invade Taiwan would have terrible consequences. Russia warns of military escalation by NATO and its allies.